Hey YouTubers, I just thought I'd show our little RV travel van here. So this is a Leisure Travel Freedom 2A is the model. So it's basically a couple's van. You know, there's a 3A also that comes with an extra seat, and I believe there's a 4A also that comes with 2 extra seats. But this one's the 2A model. Underneath the hood is a 5.9 liter Magnum 360 cubic inch V8. Never been a Dodge guy. I'm a Ford guy, but it's purrs like a kitten, runs great, lots of power in it. I have a 14-foot tandem axle trailer that I'll load my side-by-side in, and I take this to go hunting. And there's our outdoor kitchen setup. So I thought I'd just show some features on the van, some modifications that I did to it. I don't know if you can see up on the roof, but there are 2 flexible all powers is the brand name, 200 watt each solar panels, and a max fan that I installed brand new last year. We have they come equipped with these outdoor showers. They're basically made for washing your feet or whatever, but we actually use it as an outdoor shower. So I put a longer hose on it, and I put a little piece on there to hold the shower head. And we'll actually shower outside here when we're out in the bush boondocking. I didn't put the center bar up, but there's a center bar that goes here too. And what we do is we use this bungee cord that has a bunch of clips on it, and we clip a shower curtain on it. It makes my wife feel a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more private. So yeah, for cooking outside here, we got this folding table. And in Napoleon, this barbecue here is the Travel Q 285, and 2 burners. I'm a Weber guy, but for what we needed, this was a better barbecue. The cast iron grates are in 2 pieces, and we do have a flat griddle for it also. So this here is where the original battery was. There's no batteries in this anymore. I'll explain that to you in a little bit, but I use this for storage. But originally it would hold 2 deep cycle 27 batteries, and now I use it as I'll call it the tool shed, right? And then here is a pass-through storage. So I got a little folding step there. I got a bunch of blocks of wood for leveling it out. There's a few tools in here I need to take out and put it in the bag properly. There's the center bar, an axe. On the back of the ladder, I have mounted a 11-pound propane tank, and I have a hose long enough to reach to my barbecue. I can't be bothered with those little 1-pound tanks. They're a waste of money, and they're not environmentally friendly. On the back here, what we have is this is a waterproof bag that I got off of Amazon. My barbecue, well, the original box fit in it perfect, so I fold up the barbecue, it goes in the box, the table goes in there, the chair goes in there, it gets all zipped up. I'm surprised actually how waterproof it is. We've hit some pretty good storms, but I guess the zipper's got this rubber seal on the back, and you know, it folds over and everything, right? It's actually really kept it waterproof. So this here is the same thing as on the other side. It's a storage, so it's a complete pass-through, right? You can also access it from the back of the van. I call that a basement, right? So there's a cover that opens up, and you can access it from the back of the van. And there's your pooper dumper, and that you access from this side here. There's my stinky slinky, and there's the valves there to empty the black water and the gray water. It's equipped with a Cummins Zonin RG QG RV QG 2800 watt generator, which works. I had to do a tune-up on it when we bought it. We bought this van a year ago, and I ended up taking the carburetor off of it and rebuilding the carb. So yeah, that's the exterior of the van. Spare tire. I did change. It was pretty weather cracked, so I put a new tire on it, but the tires that were on it, they were like new, so we didn't need to do anything there. I do have coming in a screen that's going to fit all the way inside this here, with magnets that hold it in the middle. So we'll be able to keep these doors open and just go in and out through the screen. That's a little storage area for her dog. She's got a couple of collapsible dishes in here for food and water. She's got her food. She's got some treats, harness, leash, poo-poo bags, a bear horn in case it's ever needed. There's a grab handle here. Right now I have the seats, they swivel, so I have them turned anyway, so if you wanted to sit at the table, you could. We've actually never ate inside it. But I just wanted to set it all up, right? Curtains are in beautiful shape. That's a Insignia Roku TV, 24-inch. It's 110, not a 12 volt, but that doesn't matter to us because this van is equipped with a solar system that I installed, as well as a 3,000 watt inverter that has a built-in transfer switch. So if we were to plug this into onshore power, the transfer switch that's inside the inverter will disconnect from the 12 volt battery that's in here, which is a 300 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery. You'll disconnect from that and just use the power from the shore power. Like I said, it's got a built-in onboard generator, so here's the on and off for it, 121.5 hours on it. If I was to fire up the generator, then the built-in transfer switch of the van would switch it away from onshore power, and the onboard 3,000 watt inverter would still switch away from the 12 volt battery, right? That's how that works. It's also got a by Firestone ride right airbags, and these are your valves here. There's a little compressor underneath the hood. It's a 12 volt compressor, so you would inflate your bags, and that really stops the vehicle from swaying and whatnot, and just rides a lot better. When we leave, this thing here is always fully loaded, so I always run it at about 95 to 105 pounds is what really makes it feel comfortable. Put a couple of hooks up here for jackets and hats that's sitting behind my seat, as well as our garbage can. It fits perfect behind my seat when it's in the driving position, right? This table here, I mean, it slides, turns, so you can put it whichever way, and then there's a little screw underneath to lock it up. Hey, for inside for storage, there's a storage area here, cheese grater, and a measuring cup and a bunch of spices. And inside here, that is a slide out pantry for all our dry goods. A drawer here with all our utensils. Microwave, which is a 110, not a 12 volt. You can see the power is on it right now. Storage up here. Here we got a closet. One of the modifications we did today was we added this here. Got that at Canadian Tire for 16 bucks, and there was actually two more underneath it, which would be too long for it, but you can trim it. So the other one went over here in this corner here, so my wife can put some stuff there. But here's where we'll keep like a tablecloth and the curtains for the shower that we use outside, and put in slippers and shoes and whatnot. And then you got a hanger there, and this is where the table goes also, so it fits in that slot, and then there's a buckle that holds it in place. So that's where the tabletop would go, and then the pole itself, it goes in that back corner, and you can see the Velcros there that hold it in place, right? This carpet here, really nice carpet. We picked this up at, it just rolls out. It's got a nice heavy rubber bottom on it, stops it from sliding. We picked that up this year at the Mississauga RV show. Here's the bathroom. So there's a full length of one of those that we picked up at Canadian Tire today for, like I say, 15 bucks. And I pre-drilled, and I put screws with washers on it to hold it in place. There was no toilet paper holder in it when we bought this, so I installed one because rolling off your hand, it frustrates me. So this is the toilet here. I put a little Velcro there to hold the seat up, because otherwise it can't stay up at the angle it's at. And my wife was like, geez, this thing's hitting me in the back, I gotta hold it up. And of course, if I come in here to pee, which is very rare, I usually just, go find a tree outside, water it. So yeah, I put that there. It's also equipped with a sink. So this, which I put Velcro too also on it. So you got a little sink in here, and so when you use that, what happens is when you flip it over, it dumps it in there, and then it drains into the gray water tank. We keep our broom in here. Now, like I say, this is an indoor shower. So the shower curtain you would have closed it all off in here, and then on the floor underneath here, the floor opens up. It actually opens up this way towards me. So you open it up before you open the door, and then there's a basin in there you're standing in. But we would never use that. We never have. So that's why the outdoor shower was set up the way it was set up. Got a lock on here so doors don't fly open. Keurig coffee maker. There's a little extension here on the table. Of course, it's a small space. It's a van. So, you'll use, if I'm cooking, preparing dinner inside, or my wife's preparing dinner inside, we'll fold that up. The other one's outside, but then you have someplace to be handing it off to the person who's going to be outside barbecuing, right? So that's handy. The sink there's actually a cover for the sink. We have it up here, which is also like cutting board, right? Another modification I did was I put a cutting board on top of the lid for the 2-burner stove. We never cook in here. We still could. A little clip here will still hold this into place. So you could still cook in here essentially, but we don't want it to smell like food inside the van. So anyways, I installed this cutting board here up on the top. How I did that was I just pre-drilled some holes in the lid and into the wood and put in some small screws, short enough to not go all the way through, of course. And then there's our cutting board. Storage down here. Towels, some pots and pans, and some washing tubs, dryers. Toaster in the back corner there. The Keurig actually fits right in there too. It's got a little switch on here for a light. Helps to see, early in the morning. All these little bins here, we bought these at the dollar store, and they fit in here perfect. Pop it out, Keep some stuff organized in here. Paper towel holder, which just slides out if you wanted to remove it. We picked up that at Canadian Tire. There's my wife's coffee stuff and my coffee stuff. The Keurig machine, it's got one of those things where you don't have to use the pods or cups, whatever you want to call them. You can use regular grind. So she's got her Starbucks caramel macchiato. And there's the storage bins on my side. Here is the monitoring system, right? So this here is a 12-volt disconnect, exterior light. That's a fan that's in behind the fridge. So on really hot days, you turn that fan on and it helps the fridge to not work so hard. It keeps things colder. Water heater, you turn that on, it does it by itself. 12-volt pump. And then there's to check your propane, your battery, your fresh water, your black water, your gray water. And there's little LEDs here that tell you how full they are. Storage up here, there's our plates and cups, glass. We usually have our coffee cups in there too. Nice big storage area here. That was on there when we bought it. Another storage area there. Another one in the back corner over here. Little small skinny one. This one here, we keep board games in it. Crib board, deck of cards, whatnot. Nice big storage area there where you can keep some extra bedding and whatnot. And then storage here. So this one here, this is my storage. This is where I'll keep my socks, my underwear, my shorts, my pants, hang my shirts up in here, and everywhere else is basically my wife's. So she's got a bunch of bins here on the side that fit in perfectly in between the bed. Now, another modification. Originally, this here had an electric sofa couch in the back and 3 seat belts. So essentially, legally, you could have 5 people in the vehicle. And the sofa couch, you press a button and it would fold down. Folded down, it was a double. And then right here is 2 benches with cushions, and cushions would go on the back too. And you can have a table here to sit at. But it's just us. Our kids are grown and gone. They don't even live in the same province as us. So we just want to set up for the 2 of us and be more comfortable. So I framed in and put in a queen size bed. No more sleeping on a stiff, uncomfortable sofa. We have a nice, good quality foam cooling gel mattress on here, queen size. It's north-south facing in it. So we don't have to undo the bed to be able to sit at a table if you wanted to sit at a table, right? There's no more folding it up and all that other stuff. This here is a monitor. It's a Renogy. Monitors my solar system. The system's Renogy, right? This is to turn the inverter off and on. That is a 50 amp DC to DC MPPT charge controller. And how it works is I got 4 AWG wire that comes from the starter battery at the front of the vehicle, a positive and a negative off of it, coming to it, and then also 4 AWG pure copper cable coming from the house battery to it, and then the solar panel connected to it. So it'll charge the solar panel to a maximum of 50 amps if your panels are capable of doing that. I have 2 200-watt panels, about 24 amps is the most I would see out of my solar panels, but it does everything that we need to do. It works great. The battery in it is a 300 amp hour 12-volt battery, and it's called a mini, so it's the same size as your deep cycle 27 size 27 RV battery, right? It weighs a fraction of the weight. And when setting up solar and inverters and whatnot, the longer the cables are, the bigger they have to be. Lithium iron phosphate batteries don't give off gases like flooded batteries do, so I actually have it inside here now, under this bench where you would have sat at a table, to keep the cabling much shorter, right? So underneath here, it's inside here. There's vents on the other side. There's a little fan in there, help keep the battery a little cooler, right? So yeah, that's the framing for the bed. And then under here, there's the 3,000 watt inverter. For it to be capable of working with a lithium iron phosphate battery, I had to change the panel also. The original panel, 23 years old, the converter in it wasn't even working anymore to be able to charge the battery when plugged into shore. So I changed the entire panel. So that is a Power Dynamics 4035 is what it is, and with lithium capabilities. There's a little switch in it that you just switch from either lithium or flooded, right? And in the back there we have a cooler, which I plug into the 110. Now that cooler actually has a pump in it like a regular fridge would. It's extremely efficient. So that's where we keep our beverages, our adult pops. We keep them in there, and when we're gone, it's running 24/7. And I was doing some measuring, and about 43 watts was the most I've seen it using. The nice thing about it too is that, if you had 2 of them, you can keep one for pops, and it's digitally controlled for the temperature, but it'll go right down to -20. So you can even use it as a freezer. So, if you're going to be gone for a week out in the bush and you wanted to bring some, sausages, hot dogs, bacon, hey, maybe a tub of ice cream, you can put whatever you want in it and keep it frozen. And my solar system and everything in here, it has no problem keeping that all ran. This here is a screen tent I have in here, but I have a different idea how I'm going to mount this on the back of that cargo carrier. I'm going to do a little bit of welding and put something there. There is the gas furnace right there, and in behind it is the hot water tank. I changed all these lights here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I changed these here to LED. So still nice and bright, 12 volt cell, and it's all LED, right? It has a air conditioner, and this is also a heater too. Now these here, they only work on 110, and it's suggested that these here, the Onan 2800 watt generator could barely keep up using this thing, right? But they're designed for when you're plugged into shore power. But that battery I have in there and that inverter, it's enough to power it. Now currently, the way if I was to look at my monitoring system right now, my battery via the Bluetooth on my phone, I have the Renogy One app on my phone that monitors my solar system, my power use, the state of my battery, state of charge, SOC, all that. Right now, the way things are going with that fridge plugged in down there, this fan here running, I got this little 12 volt fan for my wife for when she's sleeping, right? Plug that in right here, turn it on. Is there a little extra fan? Everybody likes a fan when they're sleeping. This here is an O2 monitor, right? CO2 monitor, you know, for in case it was a gas leak. But right now that battery would run for 4, 5, 6 days, depending on the sun, right? But you turn that on and it'll say like 3 hours and the battery would be dead. So maybe if I had another one in there, but we've never even actually used the AC or even that heater in here. We use this, that's a Max fan, and it's thermostatically controlled through the remote, right? You can set it to auto, it'll open and close and do whatever it needs to do to maintain the temperature in here on its own. So with that on and that fridge on, I can easily go 4 or 5 days, maybe even longer pending the sun. Last weekend we were 4 days and we had a really crappy day on Saturday. Hey everybody. We had a really crappy day on Saturday with hardly any sun, rained and whatnot. But after 4 days, we still had a 38% power out of that battery. The nice thing about lithiums is actually they will still give power at 13 volts, 13.2 volts, until they're completely drained. Rather a flooded battery, I mean, as it's dying, well, so is its voltage, right? So that's the really nice thing about a lithium battery. It's got a great stereo system in it. So you can see there's 1, 2, and then if you've seen them in the back, I'm not too sure, but what did I forget where they are? Ah, there we go. One there and one there. So it's surround system, and it'll play like right through the TV. You have a switch here, radio off and TV. So if you had it on off, then you're only hearing the stereo coming through the speakers in the doors and up on the dash like a normal cargo van would. But you switch it over to radio, and then your radio is going to play through that surround. You switch it over to TV, and the TV will play through the surround. We always have it on the surround. I mean, it just sounds great in here when you're traveling down the road, and you can adjust your rear and your front and get it just right. So yeah, I just thought I'd show everybody. This is our little travel van that we have here, and last year, Ontario out to visit our oldest daughter in Alberta. In fact, we had our granddaughter with us, so that was a really nice trip to have her with us. We still had the original sofa in here at the time, so she had a seatbelt in the back. And then when it came time to sleep, we opened the entire thing up, which is basically a king-size bed, because it'd be from wall to here. It'd be a king size. Right now, it's a queen, and that's what we're happy with, because it's just her and I. And a little feature I forgot about this here. This is a little clothesline. So you take that all the way to the other end, and you put it in that little clip that's right there, and then you can hang some stuff up on it, right? We hang everything upside. home is where you park it. So like I said, with that inverter, there you go, there's the microwave running. As you've seen outside, it wasn't plugged in anywhere, and the generator's not running in it or anything. So there's the microwave and the Keurig machine too. I mean, put yourself in a coffee. I guess I left one in there. I don't have a garbage bag in there right now. I'll throw that out after. Yeah, you just turn it on. Here's a little night light here. So when we're sleeping at night, this little light turns on. My wife's got to get up to pee. She can, has a little bit of light in here. 2002. That's also a brand new LED. It came with both lenses, the clear and the orange. Well, I use the amber because it attracts less bugs, right? Yeah, it's in really good shape. Drives great, pulls great. And this year I recocked all the seals on it and stuff. So, I mean, that's just part of maintenance of any RV. It's got an outside plug-in here also. GFI, right? So I actually want to change this to have USB plug-ins too, so that we can still have, say, the toaster or the coffee maker plugged in for outside making breakfast, put it on the table, and still plug in the, say, your phones to charge them. Or we have a thermocell, which is what do they call that one again? The radius. So that thermocell, it plugs in and charges via USB. We have a Bob Marley Bluetooth speaker. Love that thing. It sounds great. Nice, good hardwood, quality hardwood, beautiful sound. But yeah, it requires a USB to plug in. So I think I'm going to change that there so it has some USB plugins on it also. The awning works great. I've removed it just to check everything behind it, make sure there was nothing rotting or anything like that. No, this van was very, very well taken care of. If I didn't say already, he was 87 years old and put a lot of miles on it. Always spent the winters in it in the U.S. So he traveled down to Arizona, California, Corpus Christi, Texas. He was always in the U.S. with it. So it's actually, even though it's seen a lot of winters, it never seen snow. So when I brought it in to be safetied, the guy was like, holy geez, this thing here still has some original stickers underneath it. Come check this out. And I was like, wow, great. But still had it undercoated anyway. I'd rather do that. So that's the van, everybody. Just thought I'd show you all, and thanks for watching.